I better not play too long because I don't want to go into the YouTube jail. So that's what I don't want to have happen. But that is a very special song, and I want to tell you all about it. So welcome to my world. Come on in. It is Sundays. It is Ding the Bell. Did you hear the bell? It's the wooden bell. We have to be quiet because Dad just went to bed. We're doing an all-nighter. So come on in. Welcome to my world. It's 80 degrees up here. We've had the fireplace on, windows open. Doesn't matter. I'm a care giver. And it is Sundays, Ding the Bell. This is where we put the problems on the table. We're in Studio M, so we're not with Ellie tonight. The Dr. Ellie Cation. She is the Master of Communication. We are in Studio M with my mother and me. This is our cafe. And today we are going to dinner very comfortably because we have got something exciting to talk about tonight. This is where you go if we have a problem, we have some ideas, and we just go right to the dinner table and we put them on the table. Anyway, welcome to Studio M. My name is Colleen Liz Frost, and I am in development. You know, layers of love go into our Sunday dinners, and our family, this is a great way to approach the dinner. This is going to be something good, I promise. Thank you for stopping in here. Stay a bit. The internet is a busy place. And these 7 days of balance, I hope, become your traveler's rest. Each day, I promote living life on purpose, with something each day to ponder in hopes to inspire you to celebrate history and create more. Welcome to my world. Come on in. Today, I'm your coach, your head coach, and I'm on a mission while in remission, celebrating that history and creating more. And I promise this will be something good. You know, 5 years ago, my mother was given a year to live. I knew these words well. I wanted to read you this book, and I did try again tonight about 4 times with my dad, and I just couldn't get through it. But this is the book when my son was 4, and I was given that year to live when he was 2. And, you know, I was very, very sick for many years, but I was given that year, and I was lucky enough to get a study drug about 3 years into my battle. And then that was another battle. I had multiple surgeries, but I did make it. And anyway, this is called a chapbook. I don't know if you've done these with your children, but I promised my son I would write him a book. And here is the book. And then multiple years later, about 5 years ago, when my mother got her diagnosis, I asked her, I said, Mother, would you help me put my book into a book? And she did. And she and I worked and worked and worked. And I won't read you this very first book. I just can't get through it. So I did make it. So you see, when I lost Mother last year, our year is almost up. June 7th, it will be a year. You see, I've been in mourning, and I promised my mother last year that I would stop my world. I would sit still for 1 year, and I would remember every single thing that we talked about over those 4 years. We made our spreadsheet of those key words. I have had my phone off, my TV off, and I have lived every single day on purpose this last year, more than I ever had in my life. This type of loss has given me a passion I never knew I had in me. She gave me this. Her life gave me a new life. What we did these last 5 years together has helped me carve out who I am now and where I'm going to go next. When you are building a cafe from the ground up, it takes time. I remember when Mother and I started with our children's books, this is back now 5 years ago. And we started back to those first days when I was born, and we drifted back to her days. And when she left for San Francisco, when she was 18, she left with her best friend, Beverly. And every breath she shared with me, and my pen flew off my paper as our coffee cups were endless night after night. Her story, then mine, all curled up into spreadsheets of key words and essays. I got to thinking when I was unpacking this computer to set up in my studio. My computer is 12 years old, hence a little bit of this difficulty with the audio, but it's been hard to let this go. She did buy me a new computer, and I've turned it on, I think, 3 or 4 times this year. I will go onto that computer, I promise, on June 8th, but I just feel like a magic on this keyboard because this is the one that I've been working on for 12 years. And if you knew how many memories are on this computer, and I'm a hoarder, an organized hoarder. So it's very difficult for me to move forward. Oh dear. Anyway, this past year, I've been building these essays into the 7 days of coaching program for kids and parents. And I've made a map of diamonds. And I'm building a digital home to store all this in. And I'm writing menus each and every night. I've been so busy. I have so many surprises for you. And each and every day I work, it has been with such emotion. As each key word that comes up, it is flooded with the day that it was sprung and the events that surrounded that word. And that I process, that each word that I process is filled with the love of my life, my mother. She was my person. I needed space too with Dad, as you know, he has become just a very deep, deep person with me along our journey. I needed space to go from song to song because each word usually had this song attached to it. The one I shared today was a word that is a song, and it's a 1931 song that was by Fred Rich, and I hope you all look it up. It's called "Tie a Little String Around Your Finger," and it's a song that my dad was a very young boy, and it's foxtrot, and it's a song. His dad, Chris Frost, was just an amazing dancer, and you just need to ask my mother just how amazing he was. But that song was my dad's childhood song, that foxtrot that my dad learned to dance from. And it was a song that my dad took to both his wars. World War II, when his birth certificate was wrong, so he was able to go to the Merchant Marines. And at 16, he turned 17 on the ship when he landed on Normandy Beach. And he remembered Irene when she was young. They were 5 years apart and neighbors. And then when he came home in between those wars, he danced with my mother at the Mill City Hall. And then it was Korea, and he took her small little tiny picture in his billfold, and he had it painted. It's in the book. I wrote about this. And he had it painted on a handkerchief, and he had it blowing up. And he waved that handkerchief, and he danced the foxtrot with his girl over in Korea. And he remembered Irene. And it's just a love story that I get so emotional about it. And my dad, just waves that handkerchief every night and remembers her with such deep emotion. Anyway, so that is the song that my dad gave me when I was sharing this year of what Mother and I worked on night after night as I was sharing the story of the Opera House, this magical life story that's just been a passion of mine that I will, this team I built now will carry on. But this story of war and this woman that he married, I hope you listened to the beat of the foxtrot. It was the dance of their day. When I talked to the mother endless hours about their marriage, and I asked, and I shared my mother's story of their marriage. I asked her about their marriage, and I told her about my choice of waiting for grandchildren and to pray to be there for them like she was for my Adam. I asked her, how did she know that Dad was the one for her? And she said, honey girl, it was the foxtrot. When he asked me to dance in between the wars, we cleared the dance floor and he made me feel like the queen. He did not clod hop. He let me move under the music and sway to the beat. He let me move and glow and was proud to let me shine. He didn't hide me under a bushel. No, he was something else, honey girl. I knew when he let me shine, he was the one. And we had nothing. But I spent the rest of my life wanting to love him more. And he spent the rest of his life wanting to love me more. Each day before noon, attention, affirmation, and affection. The 3 A's, honey girl. No matter where I went, I wore my wedding dress. In my mind, I was always his. And in his mind, I knew he never took his wedding ring in his mind off. We were married all our days. With that, I decided in my mind, I will always promote this. So even though I chose to never be married, I was once. Well, tonight I will end with this. Mother and I had to write this all down. And when we got to this part, it was very painful stuff. And she stopped me cold one day when the writing got tough because I wanted to touch on the death of marriage, because divorce is very real for our children in this world. And she told me one day, she says, honey girl, write something good and feel good about writing it. Well, I did. And even though it will be bumpy, it will end with rainbows. And that is what life is. Life is a circus. It's filled with ups and downs, and it is a jungle out there. But thankfully, I was blessed to have a mother who held my hand and gave me that one word at a time to sort it all out. And I lived that this past year on purpose. And I have picked the road I want, and I can see a clear path. Just like she promised, sitting still is what you need to do when you are planning a cafe. You see, when you are running a cafe and it is planned perfectly down to where you are going to keep your coffee cups, she said, you will be able to run it effectively, efficiently. So when you have guests and you order coffee and they order coffee and you wash their cups, you will know and you know exactly where you want to store those cups. Well, this is what she said. And for me, it's a digital world. So it will go something like this. When you come in the digital home and you have something you want to share, I want you to be able to upload that art. So I'm making a group for you to share your art. I'm even lining up a mentor program. So if there's a kid who wants to learn from you how to craft a poem, maybe you can teach them one-on-one. I think the internet is a gift. I want to inspire us to work with the elderly and our youth, to have them connect and teach each other, learn history, to become a preservationist. Sitting still is a gift. Time, spending time on purpose. It's my passion. 7 days. My mother always said, if we can't make things right, we can make them better. Sundays are for ding the bell, putting your problems on the table. Remember me if you get stuck. I will be your unstuck person. These 7 days are here to help you find your purpose, and help is on the way. Sometimes all it takes is just a word or a dance like the foxtrot. Did you know you can dance in the kitchen or the sauna? These phones can go anywhere today. YouTube is a gift. You just need to learn how to ask the right questions. Be kind. And thank you for being with me this last month on this YouTube. This has been my pre-launch on my Facebook page. If you like my work, please like and subscribe because it's a big deal. And it does put a whistle in my step. Find your rocks, grab your ball, and build a team. Look for a feather. Hope is all around. So jump, bounce, and fly with me 7 days on purpose. I teach it, preach it, and repeat it on purpose with a balance. Like, share, and remember that Sundays are for those who dare. Be avant-garde, be rare, and remember me sincerely. Coco, Coach Colleen, number 33.